Everyone who got HIV in that period of time died.
29,000 people who were not at risk for HIV/AIDS were given AIDS by the blood that they received, thinking it would help save their lives.
A beast is roaming the village, roams the land. And the beast is greed.
We already knew that you had a disease that had essentially 100% mortality.
Every blood bank had a physician, and that physician was there for one purpose, to be certain that blood was safe.
It's a story about this two people, a retired factory worker and a woman who came to this country from Scotland who was 28 years old. Both of them got blood transfusions. Janet, she got a blood transfusion when she delivered her baby. She was infected with AIDS from the blood products. Bill, he was given a blood transfusion during cardiac surgery. And he's told that the blood donor who donated the blood that was given to him later turned up to be infected with AIDS. He's checked, and we learn that he's infected as well. So, no one will take his case because the assumption was that there was no test for AIDS. I started looking into the case, and to my amazement, I find that, hey, Stanford University was testing its blood. How can that be if the blood industry is saying there was no test?
The mistakes that were made by the blood banks here and many other issues with AIDS around the world, in the United States, literally killed millions of people.
In those days, the Food and Drug Administration was charged with being certain that the blood was safe. But the Food and Drug Administration asked the blood bankers to set the standards. So they had the wolf watching the hen house.
But they actually got together and conspired to work against CDC, work with the FDA to essentially do nothing.
The book is a great read. There's no question about that. You've got all of the money of the American blood banking industry. Can you imagine the hundreds of millions of dollars, the Red Cross, the AABB, and he's going to fight them alone with his own money.
Here you got this one little lawyer working in this little office against this massive enterprise of the blood banking industry. He was going to fight this case come hell or high water because he knew he was right.
And Baxter was smart enough to say, it's not enough to sue the blood banks, it's not enough to sue the Red Cross. I've got to sue the people who set the standards. And by doing that, he then condemned the entire blood industry.
There's a point in the book that I recount where Janet was fighting for basically to stay alive for a trial date. And the industry, through their lawyers, would use delay tactics, and delay and delay and delay. I think I took my mortgage money that month and hired an ambulance to pick her up. And I had to clear with her doctor. Her doctor did not want to release her from the hospital. And the defense lawyers are arguing, we need delays, we need more discovery, of course. We need more discovery. And besides, by the way, the Bar Association convention's coming up, and I've got tickets for Disney World. And when I heard that, and she's next to me in a wheelchair, couldn't even lift her head. There was, it hit me. Not only did the industry let this woman down, not only did we let her down through a lack of regulation or oversight, but now the court system's about to let her down. It was a trial where the blood industry brought in a who's who of American transfusion medicine and scientists.
In the United States, the blood bankers were testified to help try to settle cases in court, but they were never punished. In France, the blood bankers with the responsibility were sent to prison.
And if we don't learn from these things, we're obviously doomed to repeat them.
Because it's the same beast roaming the land that led to Wall Street. A lack of regulation, a lack of oversight, the greed in 2008. It's the same story. So the book is about how the most unlikely parties take on the beast. Deconstruct everything that's wrong. Deconstruct how this happens in an environment of total trust. And some of it's, so much of it is the fault of we as people, by the way. Because you can't give trust blindly without demanding accountability for it. And if you're not getting accountability, then you need to do something about it. And we can. People can.